Hey cruisers, welcome to today's live stream. Happy Canada Day to all of our wonderful friends up in Canada. Some of you probably aren't going to make it today because you are busy with all of the birthday festivities and celebrations. That is so awesome. And of course, happy 4th of July weekend to all of our US friends. I'm wearing my 4th of July red and white tank top, blue and white tank top today to celebrate. Unfortunately, Mr. Cruise Tips TV is pretty under the weather still. We've had a sick little family this week, so you probably won't be hearing a whole lot of talking from him today. So let's say hello to everybody here. Everybody's coming in the chat fast. It is wonderful to see all of you. Hello, Lori Prince, first one in the house today. Hi, Harshi. Hi, Flashy and Fabulous. Hi, Miss Mary. Hailstone. Hi, Crickle, Dinara, Halsey, Night Audit. Let's see who else. Oh boy, you're coming in fast. You're coming in hot, you guys. I can't keep up. Teresa says hello, Sherry, Hubby, and Hubby Jr. They all say hi back. Liz Stafford, Starwood, Stubby, Susan, Minky Photos, Steve, Christine Boone, Jennifer, Ryan, Brandy, Crickle. Oh my goodness sakes, you guys, this is going to be a fun one. Roby, Night Audit from BC, Canada. Happy Canada Day. Christina Weimark, Mo in London. All right, how awesome. Let's see, we have Kristen. Oh my goodness, you guys, so many people here. Let me see. I want to catch up really quickly. Cruising with Wheels, hello, thank you. Hi, Frank and Kevin, and happy 4th weekend to you guys too. Hi, Tiffany, hi, Starwood. Let's see, Lisa, you're a new fan. Well, welcome, thank you so much. Well, since you're a new fan, Lisa, let me tell you and all the other new fans out there how these live stream works. In case this is your first live stream with us, as you can tell, we are literally live right now. We are hanging out together in real time, and you get to ask us questions here in the live chat. Keep them brief. That helps us a lot because we are going to have hundreds and hundreds of people here all at one time, and it's hard for us to keep up, but welcome. We're so glad that you are here. Becky is here. Hello from Tennessee. That's awesome. Steven, 22 more days until your 40th birthday cruise. What an awesome way to spend your 40th birthday. Eve from Washington State. That's awesome, you guys. This is great. There's so many of you here. Hi, Junior. I have your question here printed off, and we'll be answering that for you today. Jeff, Paula, Lisa. Oh, hey, Scott Singer. I'm so glad that you're here. So nice to have you. I know you're busy editing all of your wonderful Europe vlogs right now too, which are awesome, you guys. Scott Singer Cruises is here. He's wonderful. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, and he took his family, his parents, on a wonderful 14-day Mediterranean cruise on Princess recently, and has some absolutely stunning videos that you've got to watch. So great to have you here, Scott. Hi, Athena's Awesome Adventures. Hi, Spring Holmes. Christy, Purple R. Yoko. I know I said that wrong. Dance Time, Leah, Mike and Cheryl. Hi, guys. Happy Canada Day. Carrie, Sue, Rock Girl, Emma Kate. Hi, good to see you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think I'm probably not catching up with everybody who's here. So let's go ahead and get started. You guys, we had so many questions come in on YouTube this week that I did not have answers to. So I want to get started by just reading off some of these questions and seeing if you guys can help some of our subscribers with your answers. First of all, did you guys all see Bonnie's adorable, beautiful dog, Princess, in her new onesie from Spreadshirt? Was that not the cutest Facebook post ever? I know you probably can't see that all that well right now. I'm holding it up on my phone, but I had to show you. So cute. So Bonnie, if you're here, hi. Hi, Princess. Hi, Bubba. And here's our first question from YouTube this week that I need your help with, you guys. Elisa Lay, or Lee, says, so sorry to be missing your live stream, but I have a question. I will be attending a wedding on a cruise in July, and I wonder what to expect. The celebration is in the afternoon before the ship leaves. Has anyone else had this experience? So Lisa, I can tell you that what you can expect is you're probably going to get priority boarding. Usually they let all the wedding parties on first. And that just I just realized when I said wedding party that I forgot to put my wedding ring on today. It's such a weird feeling. I feel like I'm missing something. So anyway, you'll get on the ship first. You will get the VIP treatment most likely. One of the wonderful things about getting married on a ship is that they take care of everything for you. The staff will fall all over you and your guests, and it should be a wonderful thing. So I understand that it moves pretty quickly, but you'll probably occupy a lounge area or something like that and have a pretty good time. If anybody else has experience with a wedding on a ship, please let us know. And all of you who are coming in today that are new, hello, welcome to the live stream. We're so happy to have you here. You guys, I know that this is a cruise related show, but since it is 4th of July weekend and Canada Day, tell me, what is on your barbecue this 4th of July and Canada Day weekend, and what is on your radio? What is your favorite song right now? What are you guys playing? Let's have some fun. Let's hear what everybody is doing to enjoy the holidays. All right, I'm gonna ask a couple of more questions here and get you guys thinking about some things, okay? So Jessica Scaparota says they're getting married in November, going on a cruise on Liberty of the Seas. They're going to, and this is the important part, so listen up. Roatan, Costa Maya, and Cozumel, they're stoked. She wants to surprise her fiance with an excursion other than laying on the beach in Roatan, Costa Maya, and Cozumel. So they want something really active, you guys. Sailing, snorkeling, jet ski rentals, something like that. So let's help Jessica. Another question that we have here is from Lindsay Buckner. I want to get you guys thinking about this one too. Lindsay just started cruising a few years ago and is hooked. A friend of theirs swears by Carnival and has raved about his experiences. They've only cruised on Princess and love Princess, but what can they expect going from Princess to Carnival? So Lindsay, I can tell you that it will be a little bit different. Carnival, you're gonna find that, it's definitely more of a budget cruise line. So Princess is a little bit more of a premium experience. You're gonna have a few more services and things that you'll get on Princess that you may not get on Carnival, but Carnival, there's so much to offer. And I think that are you going on Carnival Vista? It's a brand new ship. It's gonna be amazing, especially because there's just so many darned activities to do on that ship. So I think you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna find it to be a more loud experience in a lively kind of way. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it will be different. It will be more fun. It's, Carnival's more geared towards partying, and that's not always a bad thing. So I hope that you will hear some other opinions from people here. So we'll see what they have to say. And I want to answer Junior Echevaria's question because I saw Junior here in the live chat. Junior says, I wanted to know if you can help me with a question. Is it beneficial for me to book my next cruise while on board? And if so, is it really worth it? So Junior, it depends on the cruise line. Some of them offer really incredible loyalty programs and future cruise discounts with onboard credit. So go to the Future Cruise Desk and decide for yourself. You can just check it out and see what you think. Sometimes you can get a reduced deposit on your next cruise and some onboard credit. If you know that you're gonna sail with that cruise line within the next 2 years, without a doubt, it's probably worth it. But you don't always have to choose the actual cruise when you're on that cruise. You can just put down a deposit and you can choose the actual cruise date and the ship later. So let's see what's going on here in the chat. I see a ton of people asking questions and a lot of things going on right here. So let's see what we have first. Hi, Paul, welcome. Thank you for letting us know that you love Carnival. Steve wants to answer the question about Roatan, said that they did that itinerary in 2015, and in Roatan you did the Jolly Roger sail and snorkel, and in Costa Maya you did the salsa and salsa excursion. So you make salsa and guacamole and then you do salsa dancing. I've heard those are really fun. Thank you so much, Steve, for weighing in on that. I really appreciate it. That is awesome. Okay, let's see here. Hi, Lindsay. Let's see what everybody says to answer your question. It'll be really interesting, and I'm glad that you're here because you're gonna see a lot more in the live chat than if you were watching the replay, so I'm glad that you made it. Okay, let's see here. What else do we have? I see Emma Kate in with a question. Hi, Emma Kate, nice to see you. I'm glad you made it. Let's say you're going on a 15-day school field trip later on. One of the places you're going is a 7-day Greek island cruise, but it's your last stop. Any extra space-saving tips? Yes, definitely, Emma Kate. I think one of the things that you could do is plan on doing some laundry on your cruise. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is limit the number of shoes that you pack because those are going to take up a lot of space, right? You're going to be definitely needing to limit the heavy things. I would also limit the number of swimsuits that you take. Maybe keep it to 2 or 3 and take a little laundry detergent, wash your swimsuits in the sink and hang them to dry across the shower if you can do that. And I'll try to think of some other space-saving things for you too for your cruise. So we can definitely do that. Let's see here. Let's see what other questions we have coming in. I'm sure there's tons. And I'm gonna ask Mr. Cruise Tips TV to help me. But again, you guys, he's been really sick and he doesn't have much of a voice. And I don't wanna get him talking because he has a terrible cough. And if he starts talking, he might start coughing. So we are going to see if we can limit that. Let's see what questions we have here. All right, did you wanna point out one to me?
K-Wolfie 321 or 321.
K-Wolfie 321. Okay, what's the question?
If you could only give one tip to somebody going on an NCL cruise, what would it be?
Okay, so K-Wolfie, if I could only give one tip to someone going on an NCL cruise, what would it be? Without a doubt, 100%, you have to try the specialty dining venues. They're so good. I love NCL specialty dining. I love the Brazilian Steakhouse. I love the teppanyaki. I love Cagney's. I love the French Bistro. I love them all. It is so good. So you've got to do that if you're going on NCL. And it's, that may be partially too because I'm not a huge fan of their dining room food, but that would be my one tip for you. All right, let's see here. Okay. Stubby L says, I was a loyalty and cruise sales manager for P&O Cruises on board for 5 years. If you book on board or are planning to, inform your travel agent first. They might help you out with something extra. Very good, Stubby. And I understand, Stubby, that if you book on board, if you hold a cruise, you can transfer it to your travel agent when you get home, right? So that's really cool. Mike and Cheryl want to know if there's any suggestions to choose for whale watching in Maui. Mike and Cheryl, I've never cruised to Maui, but I went on a trip there with my mom one time, and we took a whale watching cruise from Maui to the little island off of Maui. Is it Lanai? The little teeny tiny one? And there was amazing whale watching. I don't even know if it was supposed to be a whale watching excursion, but we saw whales so up close and personal. And I got a bike and rode it around the island, and there was just nothing on the island. It was the most spectacular excursion. I would highly recommend it. So hope that helps you. Let's see what else we have coming in here. All right, yeah, we've got some people agreeing with us that that the specialty dining is good on NCL, you guys. The Recon 1A is saying it is definitely good. And honey, you have a lot of people telling you to feel better, so you have to feel better. He's gonna...
I have one from Juanita Clark.
Juanita Clark. Okay, coming at you.
We are going on a Southern Caribbean next year, and it seems like the only thing to do is scuba and snorkeling. Any other ideas for Aruba?
Curacao. Yeah. Okay, so Southern Caribbean ideas for excursions other than snorkeling for, who is the person's name?
Juanita Clark.
Juanita. Okay, we need to think of some things. Juanita, I haven't been to Aruba or Curacao, but in the Southern Caribbean, there's definitely a lot of other things you can do. I know that some people just like to but to commission a taxi or a van for the day and ask someone to have you tour you around the island because there's so much beauty there. There's so much to see. I would definitely recommend that you do that, especially in Aruba, because there's just a lot to see all around the island. So maybe look into that. There's all kinds of resources for you to do that, but maybe some other folks will give us some tips. Kristen McCaskill wants to know, how should I pack for a warm weather cruise in October? Kristen, you should probably pack for a warm weather cruise in October, as if there will still be some humidity. It's probably going to be a little bit on the warmer side, especially if you're going to the Caribbean. It's still hurricane season technically, but you probably won't have a lot of cold nights. It'll be on the warmer side from my recollection. I would definitely take, depending on what type of fashion you like, I would take lots of sundresses, lots of swimsuits, lots of cover-ups, comfortable shoes, flip-flops, lots of cotton breathable fabrics, because if it is hot and kind of humid, that would be good. Definitely a sweater or jacket for nighttime, because you just never know. I don't know where you're sailing out of, but the funny thing is every time we go to Florida, we seem to get these like cold fronts that move in. We've had this happen to us in November and February where we needed jackets in Florida before our cruise. So definitely pack that, but plan on it being very tropical. Cruising with Wheels said that Bonaire has a donkey reserve that is really cool and you can drive through it. That is so cool. Athena's Awesome Adventures has a question. Cozumel has so many excursions to choose from. What would be your suggestion of a must-do? Athena's Awesome Adventures, we are a broken record on this show, and we always tell people the same thing. We like the private beach clubs, especially Nachi Cacombe, for the day. They're all inclusive. They include all the food and beverages you can drink. But if I were to go back to Cozumel, I would probably do something different, like rent a Jeep and do a tour of the island for the day, or do like a high-speed boat snorkeling combination type of a thing. The one thing we tell people is do not just walk around the port in Cozumel. You've got to get out and have some adventure. You can even go snorkeling by yourself right off a beach somewhere, but there's also other beach clubs like Mr. Sancho's. There's tons of things to do. Snorkeling and diving are great out there as well, so you can definitely look forward to that. And Tiffany wants to know if anybody knows of any good hotels near Port Canaveral in Florida. I don't know of anybody because I haven't really been in that area, but if anyone knows, let's help Tiffany Luann with Hotels Port Canaveral. Courtney wants to know if I've ever been on a celebrity cruise, going on one in a couple weeks and not sure what to expect. I haven't, Courtney and Michelle, but you can expect it to be refined and upscale with really good food, and other people I'm sure will want to weigh in. Do you have a question that I can answer?
I have lots.
Lots? Okay, shoot. I'm ready.
Deborah Alexander is going on Carnival Miracle in 2 weeks
okay.
from today. and wants to know about Now Amber. How much is a day pass?
Oh, okay. Deborah Alexander must have been watching our latest vlog from our Carnival Miracle cruise, and Deborah is going on the Carnival Miracle soon and wants to know about the resort that we went to for the day in Puerto Vallarta. We got a day pass at a place called Now Amber. It is a resort that charges $65 a day for a day pass. I do recommend that you email the hotel in advance to make sure there's availability on the day that you'll go, but it's 65 bucks for adults, and then I think our son was less, maybe $35, and it is all inclusive. However, it does not include Wi-Fi or spa services or anything like that, but the dining is included, all the alcohol is included, all the activities. It's really, really fun too. So Now Amber is in Puerto Vallarta. It is a very short cab ride from the cruise ship. Do you remember how long that cab ride was, sweetie? Would you say less than 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, it is really short. It's something that we have done before. And I wanted to let you guys know too that another one of our subscribers told me today, either here on YouTube or on Facebook, I can't remember where, that they went to the Marriott in Puerto Vallarta and had a great time there. So look in the comments maybe of our most recent Puerto Vallarta vlog here on this channel, and I know you'll see his comments about the Marriott. That's just another good option. I don't know that that one's all inclusive, but I think it's probably less expensive too. Okay, ready for the next question, honey? Shoot.
Did you catch the one from Dance Time about what should my aunt know? She's getting married on a cruise.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it seems like it's cruise wedding season. Dance Time wants to know, what should your aunt know? She's getting married on a cruise. I've never experienced a wedding on a cruise, but I've seen a lot of weddings happening. I think usually what they do, Dance Time, is they get everybody in the wedding party, the entire wedding party, including those people who are not going to continue on the cruise, on the ship before all of the other passengers, so you can start the wedding festivities before everybody else gets on the ship. So I do know that they will spoil you. They will take care of everything for you. Cake, photos, they do it all. It's really a nice, stress-free, all-inclusive experience. I hope that helps you. And maybe some folks can answer here if they know a little bit about it. I'm ready.
A newbie question about what happens on formal night. This is from Hales Doan.
Okay, Hales Doan, I had your question here for later, but you are asking now, so we'll answer it now. Hales Doan has the funniest question. I like it. I love the way you worded your question. I think it was awesome. First time cruiser here. What's the deal with formal night? I'm a teenager. And to me, it seems kind of weird to dress up for dinner. LOL. Okay, yeah, it is, I know. And we're seeing that a lot more. Millennials, teenagers, whatever we want to call you, young folks, don't necessarily understand what the heck these cruising traditions are all about. Why do people get dressed up for dinner? So depending on the cruise line you're going on, Hailstone, it may not be that fancy of a dress code at dinner. So, you know, if you're on Carnival, it's a teeny tiny bit more casual, but there are formal nights. There are usually on a 7-night cruise what we call formal nights, elegant nights, cruise, elegant night, fancy night, whatever you want to call it, where you go outside of the normal dress code and you dress to the nines. You dress like you were going to a wedding, not your own wedding, but like a guest at a wedding. It's probably a good way of thinking about it. It's just a fun traditional thing to do. I think there's a lot of traditions associated with cruising, and dressing up is one of those things. Now, if you don't want to dress up, there's other options. You and your family or your party can go to the buffet and wear shorts and do whatever the heck you want. On Norwegian Cruise Line, for example, if that's the cruise line that you're going to be going with, they don't have mandatory dress up nights. They have optional dress up nights. If you'd like to dress up, you can, but if you wanted to wear shorts to dinner every night, you could. So that's kind of the deal with formal night. I hope that that helps you. I totally get it. I can see how that would seem really weird to you. And I know a lot of people who are like, look, I just want to wear my jeans. I want to wear my jeans the whole time. You know, don't put me in a situation where I have to dress up. And we totally get it. So a lot of other people are commenting right now about the formal night, and I think that's really awesome. Okay, I'm ready for the next question that I missed. I know I'm missing a lot today, you guys. There's a lot of people here, so please forgive me.
The next one is from Kayla Trettel, and she's getting a lot of answers on the chat, but we should still address it. It says, hello from the North Pole, Alaska. Going to Japan on Princess Diamond in 3 weeks. It's first cruise. And the question is the alcohol drink package worth it?
Oh, okay, Kayla. Kayla, you're going on Diamond Princess for the first time, and is the drink package worth it? Now, I know that Princess's drink package is about, I want to say it's $55 per day. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. You have to think about how much you're going to drink on a cruise. Not necessarily how much you drink at home, but when you're on vacation, how many drinks a day are you going to have? If you're going to have more than 5 drinks a day, it's probably worth it to get the drink package. If you are not, it probably isn't. It's really hard for us to answer this question because it's totally a matter of preference. If you have the money and money is not an issue and you just don't want to think about running up the tab every time that you go and buy a drink, I get it. Let's talk about, because somebody else asked about this, you guys, so I'm going to kind of double answer this question right now because we've got someone else asking about the princess package. Let me see who that was. One moment, please. Let me find the name of the person who asked me this week. Okay, so LT had asked me about going to Alaska, and they got the free inclusive drink package and wanted to know, because they don't drink alcohol at all, they wanted to know if the package would include soda, virgin daiquiris, and specialty coffee. So first, LT, I'm going to answer your question and say on Princess, yes, the drink package does cover those coffees and things like that and the virgin drinks, okay? It covers, here's what it says. The all-inclusive beverage package includes any individual beverage items such as soda, water, cocktails, spirits, wines, beers, coffee, and tea, up to $10. Bottles of wine are not included, but you can get discounts on the bottle of wine. So that is going to cost you $57.45 per day for the all-inclusive beverage package on Princess. So if it's worth it, if you're going to drink more than 5 drinks a day and you want to drink some nice fancy things without having to think about signing for them every time, then yes. For me, it's not. I can't drink that much. I average 2 drinks a day, 3 on a good day on a cruise. But for me, it's not worth it because I would never leave with a bar bill of over $60 a day, so I'm not going to. Princess is running the sip and sail package though, you guys, right now for future cruises, not for existing booked cruises, but for cruises that are later on, they're including the beverage package. Now, of course, we have to not be naive about these things. I'm noticing that the fares are a little bit higher with most of those cruises, at least from what I can see, but that's out there. So I hope I've answered your question before your awesome Diamond Princess trip. That sounds amazing, by the way. All right, I'm ready for the next question.
This is a good one. K Wolfie 321 again.
K Wolfie 321, okay.
I've only ever cruised on a Carnival. Are there any major differences between NCL and Carnival?
Major differences between NCL and Carnival. Yeah, there are definitely major differences. They're still lumped into the mass market cruise line category. They're part of the, the big 3, the big 4 cruise lines. There's a lot of similarities, but you will definitely experience some differences. The main difference is that NCL goes with the freestyle cruising and freestyle dining concept. So you have a lot more dining options on NCL. Carnival's still a little bit more traditional. They have a lot of other dining options as well, but they have the main dining rooms and they have, sort of that whole traditional feel. But there's quite a few things that are a little bit different about it. The entertainment is going to be a little bit different. The availability of dining options on Norwegian is just a lot. There's a lot more. For some people that's good, and for some people it's actually kind of confusing because there's so much to choose from, and reservations are recommended. Whereas when you're on Carnival, you're probably going to go to the main dining room, maybe hit 1 or 2 of the specialty dining places like the steakhouse, depending on what ship you're on, things like that. So as far as the vibe is concerned, Norwegian and Carnival are both very lively, upbeat, and fun cruise lines. Though they kind of fall into the same genre. Every itinerary is totally different though. The time of year you're sailing is going to make it different. If you're on a spring break cruise, no matter where you go, the vibe is going to be different than when you're on a 14-day cruise, not in the middle of the school year. So in the middle of the school year when kids are in school. So it's going to be different, but I encourage you to try them both. We like to try as many cruise lines as we can, and we think it's a good idea. Of course, you want to build loyalty with the cruise lines, but it's nice to kind of get out there and experiment a little bit. Hope that helps you. All right. Susan is asking, how does one reserve entertainment on Royal Caribbean? I want to reserve ice skating. Okay, Susan, with the ice skating, I think you have to wait until you're on board to reserve it. So you really need to check closely in your newsletter that you get every day, or go down to the theater where the ice skating rink is and just look for signs. They have very limited ice skating times, and you really do need to reserve those fast. With other entertainment on Royal Caribbean, a lot of it can be reserved in advance through your cruise personalizer, and it doesn't necessarily cost you anything. There are things that cost, but you can reserve in advance on the cruise personalizer before your cruise. So get on there and check it out. All right. Maddie wants to know, does anyone know how the weather will be in early October in Mexico? You're hoping hot weather. Yeah, Maddie, you're in luck. It will definitely be hot. And I know from your post before, you're going to the Mexican Riviera. So you're not talking about the Caribbean side of Mexico, right? Definitely hot weather, very warm. Usually in October, it starts to shift from that really muggy summer thing over to the more nice, temperate, dry weather in October, but you could still get those afternoon rainstorms in Vallarta, and it still will be somewhat humid in Vallarta, maybe even in Cabo a little bit of rain still, but not as hot as if you were going in August or September. Cabo has year-round nice warm dry heat, and Puerto Vallarta has nice warm tropical heat year-round, so no matter when you go, you are in luck. The only time I've ever really been cold in Cabo was in February, and the water was cold when we were there in May, but the weather was lovely and hot and gorgeous, but the water was still chilly. So you're going to be in the good weather zone when you go at that point. Okay. Mike and Cheryl want to know, does anyone have updated or recent info on the Ocean Medallion? So if anybody knows anything about that. CruiseTipsTV wants to know, is it better to prepay gratuities for the room stewards or pay them cash? I'm not in favor of removing the gratuities on the shipboard account and giving them cash, because what normally happens when people do that is they don't really give them the full amount. I'm just being honest with you guys. You know, if you're going to remove the gratuity and give them straight cash, you can, but the idea is that there are other people. When you leave them on the account, you're allowing the cruise line to distribute them to some behind the scenes people as well. This is controversial, so don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you how it works. Tipping is always a very controversial thing. So let's see what we have here. I'm ready for the next question, my dear.
Well, I have one from Stephen Kyle, and he wants to know if they still have early pre-boarding for special needs and disabled in wheelchairs.
Yeah, Stephen, if you have special needs, they usually do let you pre-board. Most of the time, it depends on the cruise line, so you really need to kind of check into that and maybe send a message to Cruising with Wheels and see if they have special information for you on which cruise lines you might have more success with that on. They're here in the chat and may be able to answer that. Cruising with Wheels is talking about loyalty. Speaking of them, did you hear about MSC's new loyalty match program? They'll match your loyalty of your highest cruise line card. You're going to do it when you get back. Yes, I did hear about that. Now, is it a one-time match? So if I'm platinum on Princess on my first cruise on MSC, I can get MSC to match me platinum with my benefits, right? Just once though. Let me know if it's just once. I'm very curious about that.
I have another question. This is from Randy Cass, and we're going to have to put it out there for other people to answer. He needs help because he's going to rent a golf cart in Key West. And he just wants to know if anybody out there has rented a golf cart, and what about the parking, etc. You know, what's it good? Okay,
sounds good. So let's help Randy, you guys. Has anybody ever rented a golf cart in Key West? That sounds really fun, by the way. That is totally something we would do. If anybody has any information on how to do that, what's involved, let's help Randy and see. I'm ready for the next one. Any other questions for me, pal, that I've missed? You're looking? Okay.
Julie Dennis.
Julie Dennis.
When you went to Alaska, you said that you hit the hot tub. Were they covered?
No. Okay. Julie Dennis said when we went to Alaska, were the hot tubs covered? No, they don't tend to cover them. At night, they might put a net over them, but not an actual cover to keep them warm. The net, I don't really know what the net does. Maybe it keeps out large things and keeps people out, but it doesn't keep out things like leaves or anything, or regulate the temperature. So no, they're not covered. Very good question. Very interesting question. I've never thought about that. Cheryl said, don't forget to show your shirt, Sherry. I ordered my third. Oh, okay. Cheryl wants to see my shirt. I'm going to stand up. I need to look at myself in the other camera. So this is one of the new tanks, you guys, from Spreadshirt. Can you see it okay? Am I in a good place here? Okay. It says High Seas Squad, CruiseTipsTV.com. This is one of the tanks. This is the Bella flowy style, so I want to kind of show you guys the fit. It's a little bit looser and a little more flowy around the bottom, as you can kind of see down here. And yes, I am wearing pajama bottoms. Don't tell anybody, you guys. But for comfort purposes, I generally wear my jammy bottoms when I'm filming vlogs. I don't really like to wear jeans or something like that. So these are great. I can tell you that on our Spreadshirt shop, there are tons of different styles of tanks and t-shirts. So I'm trying to experiment with them to see which ones I like and recommend, but I can tell you that I have this Bella flowy one is more of a casual style, and it runs really long. Granted, I'm really short, you guys. I'm only 5'0", so everything runs long on me, but I have an athletic one, the pink one that I wore on our live stream on our Cruise Gear channel was an athletic style, and it was way more tight. In a good way, but definitely more of like an athletic fit, like something I'd wear to the gym over a sports bra. And this one's a little bit more like, I feel like I could wear it with jeans, and it's just, it's nice. It's really high quality, extremely thin. So thank you, Cheryl. I like it too. I'm glad you like it. And your shirts are really cute too. I do agree with you though. I like your Amazon shirt way better. It's really cute. The other one is, the other one was cute, but I think the other one's just more you. So you were absolutely right about that. Okay, Carrie wants to know what the price was on my tank. I'm actually gonna look, I have an app for this and I'll try to get an idea for it. I think it's probably in the neighborhood of $24 to $28, but I'll see if I can pull it up on the app right now. Let's see here, does it have a price? Oh, I don't have a price on it, darn it. I'm not sure, but you can check it out. I will give you the link. I always forget our URL for our new Spreadshirt shop, you guys, I'm really sorry, but it's so new that I cannot remember. It is shop.spreadshirt.com/CruiseTipsTV. So shop.spreadshirt.com/CruiseTipsTV, and you can pick any design, any color you want. The one thing you guys really need to know though about these shirts is you can make the designs bigger or move them. So like if you wanted this on the back of your shirt or if you wanted to blow it up, you have complete creative control. So it's kind of fun, you know. We also put things out there with no logos on them in case you don't want the Cruise Tips TV logo. Most of the designs that we have an option with no logo. So if you wanted to customize them and like put your family or your group's name on the shirts, you can totally do that. But anyway, just an option. So hi Sharon, welcome. And hi Zachary, I see that you made it into let's see here. Julie said, actually, I was wondering if it wasn't too cold for the hot tubs and wondered if they were out of the elements. Oh, okay. Julie, so on Princess, they do have one area on most of their ships, not all of them, with a covered pool. And those are lovely for Alaska. You can have more protection from the elements. However, I will tell you, and if you watch our old Alaska videos, it's been since 2015 since we went to Alaska, but you will notice that we go in the exposed hot tubs out in the open all the time. My son and I, we like it because no one's in them. Shh, don't tell anybody. But they're fabulous. But you know what my secret is? I take the robe for my room because when you get out of that hot tub, you got to get something warm on right away. It's very cold. I wear a beanie. So I have all these pictures of me in the hot tub with like a purple and white polka dotted bikini and like some ridiculous beanie that's like striped that I should be wearing with my North Face rain jacket, right? But if your head stays warm, your body stays warm. So that's my secret. But yeah, I would definitely do that. Okay, sounds good. Let's see here. Halsey, Robert, I would say most of them are friendly, but I think your best bets are going to be Celebrity and Norwegian. I hope that that helps you. That's my quick answer. We could talk about this for hours and hours, but that's probably the quickest, most simple answer for you. Let's see here. Cruising with Wheels, you love my hair. Did I change my highlights and lowlights a little? I know, you know your hair. I didn't, but my hair does that. My hairstylist does the same thing every time. She does foils and a base, kind of, I guess it's a bleach, but it really does change. Sometimes it looks more red and sometimes it looks a little bit more brown, and I just can't figure out why it changes with the seasons. But yeah, thank you. I kind of noticed that this morning too. I was like, gosh, my color looks a little different. It's a little bit more honey colored this time. Janet wants to know, what month did we go to Alaska? Janet, we've always been to Alaska in May. Isn't that interesting? And the funny thing about that is we've always had the best weather in May. It's supposed to be colder and more rainy in May, but it's not. It's been fabulous for us. You have more risk of not seeing the glaciers because, you know, they're a little bit too icy. You can't get through the fjords to get to the glaciers sometimes. Okay. Let's see here. Lucas wants to know NCL Bliss or Breakaway, having trouble deciding. Lucas, I cast my vote. I think you should try Bliss because it's newer. I know you have to wait for a little bit. But Night Audit says we're breaking up on the stream, honey. Are you seeing a good stream over there or are you seeing it okay?
We're breaking up.
We're breaking up?
Yeah, but I'm watching it. It's breaking up.
Okay, sounds terrific. Very good. I saw a question come in from Tommy from Always Be Booked. Hey, Tommy, glad you made it. Does anybody have any tips on what to do in Honduras? That's a great question. And I know, isn't security kind of a concern in Honduras, Tommy? I know that's one of the things I've heard you say on your podcast before is it can be a little sketchy. So if anybody has any tips for Tommy in Honduras, let us know. And hey, Tommy, did you get your snorkel mask working yet? Or not? You have to let me know. I forgot to tell you about that, honey. Remind me to tell you about Tommy's snorkel mask. He like leaked on him and something went very terribly wrong at the pool and I forgot to tell you and get your advice. Thank you for letting us know that the stream is getting better, you guys. Tiffany Luann says, what are the top 5 things you think I should bring on a 7-day Western Caribbean cruise? Okay, here I go, Tiffany. Top 5 things. Sunscreen, good, strong sunscreen. Comfortable shoes, a hat, some fabulous sunglasses, and some clothes and swimsuits that make you feel like $1,000,000. Lots of comfortable, breathable clothing. Have fun with it. Let's see here. Okay. D. Blevin says, first cruise in 23 days. Any tips on Costa Maya or Cozumel? In Costa Maya, I understand there are beaches that you can go to by cab that are within a short driving distance of the pier, I guess you could say. So you might want to check that out. And in Cozumel, we listed some ideas earlier in the stream. So go ahead and give that a listen. So, and Sharon's asking for excursion tips on Costa Maya as well, you guys. So please go ahead and weigh in on Costa Maya. Okay, let's see here. All right, Susan, have fun at the pool party. We will miss you. You guys, I'm gonna ask a few more questions from our subscribers for this week and see if we can't get some things going here. All right. Shannon Gorman is going on their first cruise, Carnival Elation, Nassau, and Half Moon Cay in October. They're going to snorkel on their own. Can you just walk off the beach and snorkel and still have a good experience? Shannon Gorman, guys, can you do that in Nassau? I know, remember Tommy at Always Be Booked just did an entire podcast on Nassau and things to do in Nassau. He even has a YouTube video that goes over the entire podcast but then shows pictures. It's really, really cool. That'll give you ideas, but I don't personally know if you can walk off the beach and snorkel, so we're going to check on that for you. Arthur Simopoulos wants to, let's see here, wants us to provide the artists we use for the music. Okay, you guys, we've been getting a lot of questions lately. So this is for Arthur and everybody else out there that wants to know what music that we use in our vlogs. My husband and I have to use royalty-free music here on YouTube. You cannot play popular music. You have to buy royalty-free music. We're really enjoying this subscription service we have to this company called Artlist.io. So Artlist.io is where we get our royalty-free music. You do have to have a subscription. It is expensive, but to us it's worth it because Artlist has a really good variety and we feel like there's a lot of different styles of music and we can really mix it up. And so we'll kind of go, my husband will be editing and he'll be like, okay, I need something really upbeat and fun for this particular segment of the vlog. So he'll have to go find upbeat and fun, but then he'll want something that's a little bit more like moving and emotive for a later part of the vlog. And we'll use 5 or 6 songs in one vlog, but we really do enjoy that. So if you're a vlogger, if you're a content creator, you do need a subscription to a royalty-free music platform. But I will say that no copyright sounds on YouTube is another fun way to get some royalty-free music, and you can use their songs without paying for them. You just have to do full credits in your notes. So be very careful if you do that. Okay, let's see here. Jennifer Hudgens says, hey Sherry, any suggestions about jewelry? I've been hearing you say you should leave your wedding rings in your safe when you leaving the ship in the Caribbean. You know what, Jennifer, it's a personal decision. I think for the most part these days, most islands in the Caribbean, if you're staying within a pretty normal radius and you're going on excursions that aren't too wild and crazy, hours outside of the port or anything like that, you're probably fine. We did make the decision to do that one day on our last cruise, sort of for safety reasons, but also because ours tend to fall off. My husband's sort of falls off sometimes, and mine does too. And so we're just getting a little bit more cautious about it and leaving them in the room. I don't know if that helps you. I wouldn't be too worried about it though. Okay, Tommy says the snorkel story will be on the next show. Emma Cruises was recently on and said you have to be careful there in Honduras. So you've wondered, yeah, I know. I keep hearing the same thing, Tommy. Julie Dennis, have a great time in Alaska in 2 weeks. That is wonderful. Okay, Carla Page says, any advice, I love this question, for cruising with kids on a ship without water slides and all the bells and whistles? That is such a good question, Carla. Yeah, I have some advice for you. We do that all the time. You know, we love princess cruises and they don't have all the bells and whistles. And quite honestly, on our last Carnival cruise, the water slide, my son went on it once and it was kind of cold and kind of slow and he wasn't really all that interested. So there's obviously, Carla, the pool. And the pools are really fun for kids regardless. I mean, every ship is going to have a pool. They're going to enjoy the hot tubs most likely. I think that's probably something that they'll really like. If they have a kids club, I do encourage your kids to check it out on the first day. If it's something that they like and they want to continue to do, great. If not, that's okay. We encourage our son to read a lot on cruises, like on his Kindle or whatever, but also to get out there and interact with people, to make friends with people in the gift shops and things like that. There's lots of scavenger hunts. One of the things that we give as a tip for people cruising with kids is to take a highlighter pen, and in the morning, or the night that you get your next day newsletter on your bed, you know how they leave it on your bed? Let your kid take a highlighter pen and look at the next day's activities and highlight what they want to do, and you'll find that they're going to find dozens of things they want to do that maybe aren't necessarily, you know, water slide related. So I hope that that helps you. If anybody else has any tips, that would be awesome.
I had a similar question from Rashida.
Rashida, okay.
He wanted to know, what is the best Carnival ship for kids to have fun on? My son is 10 and I'm looking for the ship with the best water activities in case he doesn't want to stick with the kids club.
Oh, okay, sweet. I don't know where you're cruising from, or if you're, what was the person's name? Rashida?
Rashida Naridman.
Rashida, best Carnival cruise ship for a kid. Carnival is so kid friendly. I think you're going to be fine on any of them. But if I were you, I'd go with the newer ships. Go on Vista. There's so much to offer. If you can get onto Vista, I would scope it out, and there's a lot of opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah, the bigger ships are going to have more water activities.
Bigger ships, more water activities. Yep.
Does Imagination have slides?
Yeah, Imagination and Inspiration, even the teeny tiny fantasy class ships, some of them have new water slides. My son loves the water slides on the smaller fantasy class ships because they're brand new. They have like racing slides, they have corkscrew slides, they have all kinds of stuff. It's really fun. So, okay, tell me some more questions that I've missed.
Christina Weimar, are there typically nights for formal nights? So
how
many would there be on a 7-night cruise?
Christina Weimark wants to know if there are typically, like, how many formal nights there are in a typical cruise. Usually there's 2 on a 7-night cruise. And on average, Christina, I think they're usually probably the 2nd and the 5th night on average. But that's not set in stone, because the cruise line is going to pick the best time. They're usually going to pick sea days if they can, because of the fact that people are going to have more time to get ready and they won't be rushing back from the ship for formal nights. So hopefully that helps you. Okay, let's see here. Always Be Booked is saying Vista and Dream Class are great for water parks. That is awesome. Tammy, have a great day. I hope that you have a fun time with your family. And thank you guys, all of you who just pop in for a little while. That is awesome. That is perfect. So I think that, we understand there's a lot going on at noon on a Saturday. So thanks for popping in and saying hello. Okay, let's see if we have any more questions that we haven't answered today. I feel like I might have got to all of them. Hopefully we did. Oh, actually, you guys, Rod7355 wants to know, what is the preferred credit card to use on a cruise? Prepaid, if so, how do you reload it? Debit card or MasterCard? I'm not really sure what the question means on the second half there, but if anybody has any preferred credit cards that they use on a cruise, maybe you have some special perks on that credit card, let's let Rod7355 know. Okay, let's see here. Teresa G says, do you have to use the Ocean Medallion or can you opt for the cruise card? Teresa, on Medallion class cruises, my understanding is that that it will be issued to you but how much you use it is up to you. I don't know that you can get a traditional cruise card because the medallion opens your door and stuff, but you don't necessarily have to use it all that much. Zachary has a really good bit of information, you guys. If you're on a Christmas cruise, formal night will always be on Christmas Day. Zachary, I did not know that. You are always a wealth of information. Thank you. That is awesome. Athena's Awesome Adventure says, is Cruise Critic a website or Facebook page? It's a website, and I'm sure they have a Facebook page too, but they are a website and forum, and they also have an app. Okay, got it. Let's see here. All right, I'm sure that we have a lot of new questions coming in. You want to point me a few questions, my friend?
Did you ask the question I posted? Answer the question I posted. This is from PJ.
PJ.
About the Grand Park Royal in Cozumel.
Oh, PJ, did I forget your question about the Grand Park Royal? Okay, let's find it. PJ, I am so sorry. You know what I did? I took a print screen of your question the other day, and I need to find it. Forgive me, PJ. Okay, here we go. I found it. I do have it. Okay, you guys, PJ Gustafson, our awesome Cruising with Kids writer here on Cruise Tips TV said, I know you typically recommend Nachi Cacombe for Cozumel, which looks awesome, but we will be there in January with small kids and don't necessarily want to take a taxi with no car seats. I found the Grand Park Royal in Cozumel, which appears to be within walking distance of the cruise port. Has anyone in the Cruise Tips TV community been here, and what was the experience? Is it good with children 5 and under? Okay, you guys, so let's help PJ. Cozumel, Grand Park Royal, has anyone ever been there, and is it good for the littles? Littles. He's got little tiny kids. So sorry, PJ, my goodness. And hi, Bonnie, welcome. Bonnie, earlier I showed this picture of Princess to everyone, and I know you're not on Facebook, so here she is in all her glory in her sweet little spread shirt onesie. It is the cutest thing ever, so welcome, Bonnie. We're glad to see you here. Let's see here. Thank you for giving me, PJ, for forgiving me. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm ready for the next one.
Spring Homes.
Spring Homes.
For a large group, do you recommend booking suites or connecting staterooms? Plan a cruise for 2018.
Okay, so do I recommend, if you're sailing with a large group, booking suites or connecting staterooms? That entirely depends on two things. Number one, your budget, and number two, how closely you want to be interacting with your cruise companions. If you want them in the same room with you, which is what a suite is going to be like, then book a suite. If you need more privacy or want more privacy, then you need to book separate staterooms. And obviously the suites are probably, no matter what, they're probably going to be more expensive, most likely, than booking staterooms. You may be able to get staterooms with interconnecting balconies, which is a nice compromise because you can walk back and forth on the balconies, but you're not necessarily connected. Okay. Kay Wolfie said connecting staterooms tend to share sound. Just a warning. Good advice. Crystal Silver says, does anyone have tips for sailing out of Cape Liberty, Bayonne, New Jersey in November? We're flying in the day before and getting a hotel. I haven't been to that area, but we will go ahead and see. All right. Let's see here. Let me see what else we have here. Do you have any other questions you want to point out to me?
Christina Boone.
Christina Boone has a question. Okay, Christina. Sorry for the delay.
First time cruise Ncl Gem.
Are you going to cough, honey? Yeah. My poor husband's starting to cough, you guys. He doesn't want to cough on camera.
We have shore excursion, $50 per. We also heard going on excursions every day can be a lot. Thinking of using St. Thomas as a beach day. Best relaxed beaches or shore excursions? Okay,
on St. Thomas, should she choose the relaxing beaches or the shore excursions?
Yeah.
I haven't spent a whole lot of time on St. Thomas, but I think one of the things that I would do if I could go to St. Thomas is I would go to St. John. I would take the ferry over or take an excursion over. So if you want it, if you've got it sounds like you've got one of the perk credits where you have $50 in $50 a day or something credit towards a shore excursion of your choice. If it were me, I'd apply it towards an excursion, get over to St. John somehow. But if you can find a $50 beach day and you can spend less money and just go on a beach excursion, maybe that would be good. I think there's lots of options. We'll see if somebody else has some advice here as well. Okay. Steve says, with regards to the interconnecting cabins, you guys, our cruise on the Bliss is in January 2019. It's a family cruise, and we all have our separate cabins. I love my in-laws, but not enough to share a suite. That's so funny. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way. You want separate rooms, but you want to be close to one another. What we do when we cruise with my mom is actually kind of cool. When we can afford it, we get a balcony, and she gets an inside, like right across the hall, and then she just comes and hangs out in our balcony with us. It's really kind of great. On our Panama Canal cruise that we're doing together with my mama, we booked inside cabins next to each other. And I forgot to tell you guys, for our Panama Canal cruise, really cool news. We got an email from our travel agent a few weeks ago that they upgraded us to an ocean view, which is really nice. I mean, it's not a balcony, but I think what happened with Princess is that I think they lowered their prices on the Panama Canal cruise. And so I think they might have bumped everybody out of inside cabins up into window or outside cabins, because I went back on and looked at the prices and I noticed they'd really dropped. So I think that's what happened. I don't know, but we were really happy to get a call from our travel agent. So Kay Wolfie is suggesting going paddleboarding. I don't know where you mean. Maybe in St. Thomas paddleboarding? Is that what you mean? PJ Gustafson recommends that you check out the family suites on the MSC Seaside. They look awesome and are reasonably priced. Susie Q said she went to Sapphire Beach, and on St. Thomas, went to Sapphire Beach. St. John is beautiful. Agree with Sherry. Yes, Susie Q, thank you very much. I know, awesome, right? Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. You guys have any other questions that I've missed, my dear? No? Oh, it's a miracle. We don't have questions that we missed. And did you guys just see me fling my straw across the room? I don't even know how I did that, but it's like projectiled over. Okay, let's see here. Janet, our Panama Canal cruise, I'm sorry, you guys, I literally just like sprayed myself with my drink. It's so funny. I'm not doing an ocean to ocean Panama Canal cruise. We're planning just to do a round trip Fort Lauderdale because I can't take that much time off of work. As it stands, I'm already going to be off for almost 2 weeks, and that is a long time for me in my line of work, so I don't really want to be gone that long. Lindsay wants to know if anyone has ever taken a repositioning cruise. You have a one-nighter booked from Seattle to Vancouver. That sounds fun, Lindsay. Those go really fast. We've taken a two-nighter, and you got to find ways to relax because it's hard to unwind in that short of a time, but it is a fun adventure. So hopefully that will be good. So Sharon said we were upgraded on Princess to the beverage package and specialty dining. Oh, that's awesome. Sharon, that's a big value. My goodness sakes, that's great. Steve, no, my drink is not spiked. It's just straight up LaCroix today, but now I have to drink it out of the cup because I threw my straw. But no, not today. I'm being a responsible human being. Thank you for the compliments on my straw trick. You guys are so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Cruising with Wheels is saying that there's a cable car that takes you to the top of the island. I missed the beginning of that conversation, so I'm thinking you might be talking about St. Thomas. Always Be Booked is saying Coral World and Coki Beach combo is great on St. Thomas. Thank you, Tommy. Also, they have a safari cab, take you to the mountaintop gift shop and bar for gorgeous views of Magens Bay and all of USVI. So Tommy, what he does when he goes to St. Thomas, you guys, is he doesn't plan it in advance. He just looks for one of the safari cabs, finds the vibe with the driver he likes the most. And I've heard you talk about this before, Tommy. And then you say, hey, take me up to the mountaintop, to the gift shop, and have a pina colada, right? Isn't that what you like to do? So that's awesome advice, you guys, on St. Thomas. Thank you so much for helping. Much appreciated. Okay, do you have a question for me, my friend? Okay, so we're getting ready, guys, to wrap up here in a few minutes. We're hitting almost an hour. So if anybody has any questions that we have missed, please let me know. Nancy and Nellie says, any MC cruises from Long Beach? Do you mean MSC? If so, no, MSC does not sail from the West Coast at this time. I wish that they did. SoCal Seth says there is great shopping in St. Thomas. Jeffrey Just says they go to St. John with every visit to St. Thomas. I'm telling you guys, listen to Jeffrey because I've heard that it is the way to go. Very awesome. Deborah has a question. Norwegian Escape Thanksgiving week out of Miami going to St. Thomas. Do I need to pack warmer clothes? Deborah, you need to pack warmer clothes probably just for embarkation and disembarkation days. Maybe, a pair of jeans and a hoodie or a light jacket would be enough. And you probably don't need them, but at the same time, those days getting on and off the ship, you just never know. I had an experience when we debarked from Liberty of the Seas. There were these high winds blowing, and we were stuck in a stairwell of a cruise ship with the doors wide open, and it was blowing through, and everybody was wearing like, you know, short shorts, sandals, and tank tops because that's all they had. They were freezing. So I always recommend a few items, but you don't need too much. Okay. Let's see here. Becky said, do I drink tap water on cruises? Is bottled water needed? You can drink the tap water. We do purchase or take on our own bottled water on cruises for drinking, but you can absolutely drink out of the tap. And I'm quite sure that when you get the water in the dining room that they just pour in your glass, I'm sure that that's tap water. So I don't think you need to worry too much about it. Zachary said it's nice and warm in South Florida around that time unless it is raining. So Zachary would know better than I do. Let's see here. Christina says, how far in advance can you check in for a cruise online? You can do a lot of the check-in, Christina, as soon as you book. There's just some things you can't do until later. Like, for example, you can't necessarily book shore excursions or dining reservations until a little bit closer. So you can generally check in pretty early. So I would recommend you go in there. As long as your passport's not going to expire between the time you enter your data and the time you sail, just go in and do it as soon as you can. Okay?
I have one that's kind of getting away.
Great.
Purple Yoko.
Mm-hmm.
Purple or Yoko.
Purple Yoko. We have a question. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And travel agent for my family reunion. Ideas for Nassau for people who don't like to do a lot of walking around. Okay.
Ideas for people in Nassau who don't like to do a lot of walking around. Oh my goodness. Well, that's a tough one. You probably don't want to go to Atlantis and just walk around. That probably wouldn't be a good thing for you to do. There is actually a lot to do on Nassau. It's not as horrible as it sounds. You could definitely easily go just have a very mellow, quiet beach day. You could take a taxi cab kind of a tour. I would recommend doing something. Definitely you need to listen to Tommy at Always Be Booked, his podcast or his YouTube video on Nassau. He gives a full hour to what to do in Nassau. He's more of an expert than I am on that, so I would check it out and let him guide you a little bit on that. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I know there's some more things coming in. Did you see any more? Okay, Steven said you can't print out your sailing docs until 30 days out. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Okay, all right, you guys, I think we have covered most of the questions that have come in. I do see one more from Jennifer about jewelry. I'm going to answer really quickly and then we're going to go ahead and wrap up. So what that means, you guys, is that if I have missed your question, just go ahead and leave a comment for me after this video goes to replay and I'll answer it for you. And you'll also get other people helping to answer the question as well. But Jennifer said, should you take jewelry like your wedding ring off and store in a safe before going to port or wear it as usual? Jennifer, it's funny how we have trends and questions. You're the second person to ask this today on the live stream. And we don't think it's absolutely necessary unless it makes you more comfortable to do that. So it's up to you. Rewind a little bit in the live stream and you'll hear us talk a little bit about it. Christy, do you need to check for bed bugs like you do in hotels? We never do, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I've never heard of anyone getting bed bugs on a cruise, but I'm sure it's possible. So thank you guys so much for your patience today, and thank you very much for all of the well wishes for Mr. Cruise Tips TV. He's going to be all right. We're nursing him back to health. Poor guy's on antibiotics, but he's coming out of it. So thank you all very much. I think there's a couple more tips coming in here right now. Deborah, yes, we will post the links for the shirts. We have been posting them in the notes of all of our videos. So if you're in a hurry, go look at our last video and you'll see both of our shirt shops in the links there in our Puerto Vallarta vlog. I know they're both there, but we'll post them here after the replay goes live in a few hours, okay? We will be sure to do that. And Always Be Booked has a tip here. There are lots of private island beach days, islands that you can take a boat from, and they have water sports, chairs, and refreshments. Tommy's talking about Nassau. I know that for all of you who are thinking a little bit about that. So thank you guys so very much for watching. Happy July 4th to all of you. To our Canadian subscribers, and I know there are a lot of you, happy 150th Canada Day. Very excited. Bonjour to those of you in French Canada. And thank you all for your patience as we had a little bit of technical difficulty there in the middle. We will be doing another live stream most likely 2 weeks from today, and I think my mom is going to be visiting us that weekend. So hi Mom, if you're watching right now. You guys, my mom doesn't know how to comment in the live stream. I'm trying to help her and get her to comment in the live stream. She watches them every single time, but maybe when she's here we can get her set up in the comments and she could interact with you guys on another computer or something, or pop in and say hello. So We'll see you back here for another live stream in 2 weeks. Make sure you follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Just type in CruiseTipsTV. That is our handle everywhere so that you can stay up to date on when we're holding our next live stream and see all the fun pictures of life in between all of these videos. Thank you all so much for all of your support and watching our Puerto Vallarta and Cabo vlogs from Carnival Miracle. And until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye.
Cruiser of the week.
Hey, click me to subscribe.